Hey, what's going on everybody? Crow here, and today we're going to be going over Spires floors 31 through 39. Now in the first one on 31, you want to take out them back bunnies as quick as possible. You have two different types of bunnies that can spawn, but both of them buff the hell out of the main boss, so you want to kill them as quick as possible so they cannot apply any of those buff effects on the main boss. Now after they're dead, you want to go to the main boss. He has two skills. One's going to be summoning a bomb. When he wiggles his ass, he'll start summoning it, so you could either try to go behind him and avoid that, or you could just take it. It doesn't do too much damage, but the main spell you want to avoid is taunt. When you cast taunt, it's a huge 30-second debuff that'll completely ruin the floor for you or slow you down majorly, so you want to try to run behind them to avoid the spell taunt, or just run away from them a bit, and that's about it. Other than that, you just keep DPSing them down and that floor is over. Alright, floor 32 is kind of annoying, but once you activate the stone, upon activation you have 4 special ads that can spawn. You have Agnes the Cuddly, Tiny Crab, Sweet Nightmare, and Crasha Jr. They are all equally very annoying, but there's not much a Guardian can do about any of them. One of them silences, the other one is a debuff, the other one's a huge stacking debuff to our overall attack. So if you want to kill them for the 13,000 extra points, I mean, that's completely up to you, but they are tanky as hell. Now as far as the girl, you just want to keep attacking her. The longer that you do attack her, or the more damage that you do reduce from her, the more ads that she's going to summon. And remember that we can block and do reflection damage due to our passive, so try to block as much as possible to get all that reflection damage spread out. And if they do knock you back, make sure that you're targeting the child that's closest to you. You don't want to run through a mob of children just to do some damage. You want to attack the one that's closest to you, in front of you. That way you can get splash damage across all of them. So just make sure that your kid's position your character's positioned really well. That way you can attack all of the kids at once and not just one little one on your left and one little one on your right. Alright, we all been stuck on floor 33, and there's the trick that I use, or the technique that I find the best, is to go ahead and just run to the right, chain the Z-Lot that's in the far left, bring him to you, and then Hacane's Grasp. Now the reason I chain twice, or the Hacane's Grasp, after I get them together, is because sometimes they kind of bug out and you only attack one when there's 2 in front of you. So I Hacane's Grasp to grab them all, to make sure they're grouped all in one spot. That way when I do combo out, I'm inflicting damage to both of them at the same time. Once they reach 70% of their health, go ahead and block the Dark Lightning that's about to come. Move over to the other side of the bubble and then do the same thing with another combo, whether Dominant Virtue or Noble Onslaught or something like that. But remember, once they get to 70%, don't kill them, but once they get to 70%, go ahead and block and then chain them all together, or do what you got to do, because the bubble's about to break and then you can fight the boss. Now the boss is super easy. He does Dark Healing, which summons 2 ghosts, one in front of you, your 12 o'clock, and one behind you at your 6 o'clock. You can try to chain them and go into Noble Onslaught and interrupt one of them for extra points if you can, but it's really hard to do. And then you have a skill called Chosen One. Now Chosen One does not it does knock us back, but it does not interrupt our combos, so don't be worried about trying to squeeze Dominant Virtue or Noble Onslaught in there. Just keep it coming out, because it doesn't interrupt us, so we can just keep on comboing. Alright, floor 34. Now, a lot of people have issues with this floor. I did for a long time. But it's really simple once you learn the color patterns that she's going to call out. Now, the technique that I use when I go into this floor is I hug the wall as much as I can, and I'm doing this so I can see all the colors that are on the ground and where I need to fight her at. And I'm doing it mainly because I want her ass to move from the middle of the platform that she's standing on. So 90% of the time, if I hug the wall, she moves her ass from the center and then moves off to the side so I can fight her. Now, that's the reason I do that, and it works, like I said, 90% of the time, and then I begin to fight. Now, the colors are represented by the color that she shows in her hand, but it's very good to go ahead and memorize the colors, the order that she's going to call out the colors, which is going to be yellow, red, blue, and then green. Now, once you keep doing damage to her, she does go into an electrical discharge, which reduces the cast time from 5 seconds to 3.5 seconds. So you really need to go ahead and start remembering these colors so you can try to make your way to the color patterns that are shown. Now, if you're in the wrong color, it does a lot of damage, but if you're in the right color, the damage over time that it deals to you isn't that severe. So you want to go ahead and throw Justice Force or Weapon Toss or even Hakeem's Hammer at her to try to get some of that healing back to fight the damage over time that she's dealing to you, and to just keep doing damage to her again and again. Now, if there is no color near you, because Roi-Guardians were slow as hell, if there's no color near you, and I'll show it at the end of this floor, a clip of it. If there's no color near you, don't forget to jump, because flying, the damage from the cast that she does isn't that bad, but the damage from flying over all the wrong colors, that's what gets people killed. So, I mean, if you cannot make it to a color or a certain color in time, just jump to avoid any knockback at all. Alright, floor 35, Van Deacon. Now, this fight's kind of, I don't want to say easy, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually pretty damn easy. Now, he does do a couple moves that you have to watch out for at the very beginning of the fight, after about 2 rotations, and this is throughout the whole fight. The most important part about this fight is you have to block the summoning of the blue vortex. Alright, you got blue vortex and you got red vortex, but red vortex only comes out if you are touched by a blue vortex. So I mean, you have to block blue vortex and interrupt that spell, and then you have no other spells of his to worry about except Wild Shot and Raise. Now, right after he does do his blue vortex summon at the very beginning of the fight, he's going to summon a ghost, which does buff him if it closes the distance with him and reaches him. So you're going to want to kill that ghost as quick as possible and then just continue out the fight. Now, like I said, the most important part of this fight is blocking that blue vortex. If you can get down blocking that blue vortex or spacing out and timing it out right, that way you can block the blue vortex before it comes out and stuff like that, then you got this floor in the bag. Just be patient and just wait for that blue vortex to be summoned. Now, when Raise comes, you're going to want to try to dance as near to him as possible, because usually after the Raise he's going to summon a blue vortex and you got to be there to block it, or else you're going to be taking a hell of a lot of damage. So I mean, once you get the trick down or the timing down to be able to block that vortex, this floor is not much to it. Don't bother killing the little scorpions or the tentacles that come out, because they're not worth any points, although they are annoying as hell. But just when Raise goes off, keep close to him, desummon your pet, and then just wait for a blue vortex to be summoned, block it, resummon your pet, and just keep on. Alright, 436. Now 436 probably causes people to rage more than any other floor in the Spire. Now this floor is actually really hard. You can get some practice in by going to the shrine and fighting them over and over, but the main part of this, or the hard part of this floor, isn't just the one of them, it's the 3 of them when he does summon his twins. Now he does have a couple of moves you need to watch out for. First move being Light Redemption. Light Redemption only attacks the person that is in front of him or the creature that is in front of him. So I mean, you always want to keep a pet in front of him the whole time, that way it can attack the pet, and you also want to circle behind him to avoid it as well, because it will kill us. Its health percentage, and when he summons his other 2 brothers out, it could get pretty nasty if you don't manage to be patient and keep a pet in front of him the whole time. Now his second move is going to be Lightning Cut. You're going to want to block that, and he also has traps and bomb quakes. Now traps are very easy to avoid, you'll see them on the ground, and bomb quakes, he summons 3 random bombs out of nowhere and they hurt, so get ready to pot. But at the whole time you're doing this, just try to be patient and keep a pet in front of him the whole time, because by now he's already summoned his brothers. You got 3 of them going at you. Now they all do share the same rotation, except for the brothers are a little farther behind. So once the brothers do lightning cut, get ready for light redemption to go ahead and start rolling out. So try to keep a pet in front of them and move behind light redemption, that way it don't get you. Now a good trick for this floor, for a while I swapped over to my Alsatian set, that way I did have a lot of health, because although light redemption is health percentage based on the damage that it deals to you, it does help to have an extra cushion of health, that way you can go out throughout the fight, because it's not just light redemption that messes us up, it's light redemption and then getting lightning cut into a bomb quake and then bouncing all over the damn place. So I mean, having extra health does help. And don't forget to try to use Mercurius if you can, because once you're almost there, I mean, shit don't start getting crazy until like 10% of his health, you know. So I mean, if you could hold out on Mercurius and then summon Mercurius at like 10% and just finish off the fight right then, that might help you as well. But other than that, just try to keep the guys grouped up in front of you, that way you can see lightning cut coming, you can see light redemption coming, and it should be downhill from there, although the bomb quakes are random, so that's never going to get easy. And once you are knocked back, be aware of a brilliant wind, because once you reach a 10-meter distance between the twin and yourself, he's going to do brilliant wind at you, and just be sure to block that. And after that, it should be downhill from there. It's a hard ass floor, I mean, but like I said, try to use Mercurius, keep your pets in front of one of them or all of them at the same at all times, and block lightning cut, and if you can, swap out for HP percentage rings. Floor 37, the Scorpion. Now he's actually very easy. For after 36, I mean, you could take a deep breath, because once you beat 36, it's all downhill from there until you get your ass kicked on 40. But 37 is just a Scorpion. He only has 3 moves that he does: Venom Wave, which we block, and then Poison Barb, which you just run behind to avoid. Now the next move that he does is going to be Algae Burst, which does do a little bit of damage, and it can interrupt our spells, so be aware of that. But then it summons poison around us, but you want to stay in the very center of it, of the whole floor, that way none of that poison damage gets you. And then that's it on that floor. Just block Venom Wave, run around him during Poison Barb, and just kick his ass during Algae Burst, and then that'll be it on that floor.
Keep a secret with me. I'm here to take you on a journey to the wildest it can be.
Alright, floor 38 with a dinosaur dude and all his little dinosaur friends. This floor is actually very easy as well. All you're going to want to do is group all the dinosaurs up as quick as you can, but just be careful, because once you do aggro the Jammerots, they're going to run at you and try to knock you back and fear you. But that is blockable, so if you do grab them, just go ahead and block real quick, gather up all the dinosaurs, and just keep going. This boss has no special skills, no special moves, nothing to worry about. Just kill the dinosaurs, with him being the main target of course, and just DPS him down. Alright, 439, Jamawu, Jum Jum. This floor is very easy as well. It's actually a little easier than the previous floors we just talked about. But once you start fighting him, you can go to his left wing or you can go to his right wing, but make sure you positioned under one of them and have your pet over there as well, because the whole time you do have other little baby Jamawus on the side throwing off in like a checkers pattern or a cross pattern at you the whole time. But if you are at his left wing or his right wing, you will avoid all the damage that he does during that whole time. Now he does have a couple moves that you need to worry about. He has Energy Blast, which does nothing but just knock us down, so just get up and keep attacking them down. And then he does Time Rift. Now the way I like to do it is I like to save my Rampart charges the whole time to where I'm in the middle of the Time Rift and I can Rampart charge back into the fight. Now be careful because the small baby Jamawus are shooting the whole time, but you could usually get sucked into the middle and then Rampart charge back into the fight and avoid being hit at all. I think in the video I kind of messed up, but it's not a big deal because this floor isn't too hard, but just keep DPSing him down and stay at the left side or the right side of his wing. Now that's it for floors 31 through 39. I really hope it helps some people if they were stuck on a floor. And if they weren't stuck on the floor, I hope they have some ideas or some tips they can leave for you guys or for me in the comments section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.